Are UFC gloves fairer than boxing gloves? Hello and welcome to Fit to Box channel. Today I want to discuss, are UFC gloves better than boxing gloves currently? And I've just finished watching Conor McGregor versus Dustin Poirier in the big UFC fight from last night. Now, as you know, I am a pure boxing fan. I do watch the big UFC fights. I do love the stand-up fighting. I even like the kicks when they're standing up. I'm not a big fan of the groundwork. Although I appreciate the skill, what's going on down there from a spectator point of view, I'm not a big fan because I don't think it looks as good as when they're standing up. I don't like things like the arm bar. I understand again the skill to get someone in that position. I don't like the hammer fist when someone's being hammered on the floor even though they're basically prone and can't really defend themselves back. I'd rather that the fight was on their feet the whole time, a bit more like a gypsy bare knuckle fight where if somebody goes down that they're actually allowed to get back up and the fight continues. That said, when it comes to the gloves, I do think that the UFC have got it spot on. I love the fact that they both wear the same gloves. Both fighters have the same amount of padding across the knuckles and both wear official UFC gloves. Now, in boxing, we've got the two types of glove. We've got the more protective foam padding, like this glove here. As you can see, it's like a padding that is consistent right across the knuckle. And we have the puncher's gloves, which is horsehair, much thinner on that knuckle area. And that horsehair can be sort of manipulated away from the knuckle area. It's a thinner padding on horsehair. Now, most brands do make the protective version and the puncher's version. And if you compare a horsehair boxing glove to a UFC glove, the padding on the UFC glove is probably thicker than the 10-ounce horsehair glove, even though a UFC glove is 4-ounce. So a UFC glove is better padded and the padding on them cannot be flattened, it can't be moved. The padding is even across the knuckle. After the Tyson Fury versus Wilder fights, obviously we had Glovegate 1 and Glovegate 2, and both of those are still going on to this day, which I can't believe, but it is still happening. I think that boxing needs to take a look at UFC and its gloves. After last night's UFC fight, I think the people are talking about the fight and they're not talking about the gloves, and that's exactly where we need to be in boxing. I think that boxing should have a standard knuckle pad on every boxing glove, regardless of brand. There should be a foam padded sort of knuckle pad which fits into every single type of brand of glove. That way it's more standardised and no one is getting advantage through the type of glove that they are wearing. I think it's time to get rid of horsehair boxing gloves. I think the padding that we could have in boxing glove would be that foam padding, but I think it obviously would be softer than you'd have on a UFC glove because the amount of punching that goes on in boxing is a lot more than in UFC, because in UFC they are kicking and kneeing and elbowing and doing all the other things as well. I love the fact that different boxing brands make different boxing gloves, I really do. But I do think it's that knuckle area that does need to be standardised. So both boxers have the same padding in their gloves. If both gloves have got the same padding, then it is totally fair. Best man wins, no advantage given by any gloves, no gloves controversy, and also no excuses, and just great fights to chat about after. So that's my take on it. I think boxing really could learn from UFC. I don't think I'd like it that, you know, they was all using the exact same brand of gloves like in the UFC, but I do think a standardised knuckle pad on the boxing gloves in the different brands would be a great improvement on what we've got at the minute, which is you know, a bit of a lottery really in terms of horsehair gloves or padded gloves. There's quite a difference between the two. I hope you enjoyed that. Please like and subscribe to Fit to Box channel. Please share my videos, and also don't forget to jab that notifications bell for all my latest uploads. I shall speak to you soon.